Okay, cool. I'm actually really excited, and I don't know if you guys are sensing this too, but I feel a shift happening. And it's like you're either going to get on with the shift and really get to ride the momentum of it, or you're going to be left behind. Like you're just going to get the sprinkles on the back end. And so I want to do a little bit of refocusing today to start the session off. Once you guys do your celebrations, or actually part of that will be celebrations, so we'll do that. But I want to do some refocusing because we've got 60 more days to create momentum. I mean, it's more than 60 days. Let's just say 2 months. I like to say 60 days because it just keeps a finite number in my mind. But okay, so let's say we got 60 days left this year to create momentum to go into 2017. Here's the truth. However you cross that virtual threshold into 2017, that's how it's going to be for you. So if you're waiting on it to come to start moving your feet, not going to work out in your favor. You're going to be playing catch up. That's basically what I mean. And so I want you guys to just reshift yourself. Sometimes energetically, which is kind of crazy to talk about, right? Because most of us are Christians that, coach with me. We don't really think about the energy of things. You can feel it in the atmosphere when things are stale. You can feel when it's stagnant and not moving. And so what happens is you need to shift your atmosphere. You might need to move your desk around. You might need to get up and, work from a different space. There's all kinds of things that you can shift in order to shift your creativity. Sometimes have you ever tried to do something and you just keep trying to do the same thing over and over again? And in your mind, you kind of know it's not right, whether it's like, stick a plug into a hole that it doesn't go in. You just keep doing it over and over and over again. And then the moment you let it go, drop it and walk away, and then come back, instantly, oh, right, this doesn't fit in here. This is a 3-prong plug and I have, 2 to stick it into, right? Sorry, my son is like texting me right now. Okay. And so if you just take a moment and step back, so if you're stuck somewhere in your business, if you're not feeling momentum, take a moment and drop and let go of everything you thought it should be, what you think you're supposed to be creating, and come back to it with fresh new eyes, with no prejudgments. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So lots of business owners, we tend to get stuck in the standard minutia and momentum that we've created, and we're not able to accelerate our results or create a new level of momentum or do anything different. We just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and hoping that one day something's going to break open, and it doesn't happen. And so I want to shake things up a little bit and take you guys through a refocusing exercise that, again, is going to include you being able to do your celebrations for today. But I want you to really think about what's possible. I want you focusing on possibilities more than what's already happened. Does that make sense? Start to think about what's possible for you to create. Start to ask yourself the question, how would my life be different if this desire of my heart completely came true? In an amazing amount of time. And get excited about what that feels like for you and anchor that feeling into the goal. Okay? That is so important. We operate so often from our mind that we never bring in the senses. And I believe that by design, like our brains don't really know the difference between reality and what's fake. That's why you get scared. Fear isn't real. It's just you conjuring up things. And because your brain doesn't know you're not in danger. It just knows that this is the neuron that fires off when I'm afraid and something scary is happening right now. Right? It looks scary to your eyes. It doesn't know you're not going to get stabbed. You're not, when you're watching a scary movie, it doesn't know that. Right? That's why those things affect us in that way. Well, the same thing happens in your business. In your mind, you're creating what your life and what your business is going to be like, and your brain is responding appropriately. with fear, with doubt, with self-criticism, all of those things, because that's what it's used to doing. And so in order to stop it from doing that, right, it's just like your reflex to breathe. You don't think about it. You've done it so often. Well, those reflexes are the same. If you want it to shift, you have to interrupt it. You have to do a pattern interrupt and recognize that it's actually happened, or another year will pass and you'll be in the same place. All right, so let's do something a little bit different. It's going to require you guys to do a little bit of writing. And so here's what I want to do. Make this a little bit smaller. The first thing I want to do is I want to do some celebrations real quick. So I want you guys to think back on the last 90 days, you know, the last quarter and the last, 30 days of this quarter. And out loud, I want you to share with everyone what your top 3 wins are for the third quarter. And I need to see who this is. I think that's Veronica. Okay, who's on the phone line, the 951-707-8013?
It's me, Jack.
Okay, cool. Hi.
Hi.
All right. Let's see. Okay, so let's just go. We're going to do Peggy, Audrey, and then I'll let you guys jump in as you go from there. What do I have? Oh, that's right. Okay. All right, so top 3 wins from the past quarter. This is your opportunity to celebrate. Now think about this. Here's where our monkey mind jumps in. It's not the thing we wanted to accomplish, so it doesn't really matter, right? It's not as big as I wanted it to be, so it doesn't really matter. But it can be all kinds of things. It can be making a decision to invest in something, some software that's going to support you, to hire an assistant, to invest in a program, to that you did bring on new clients, or you got speaking engagements. It could be anything, but learn how to work that muscle of really looking back and reflecting on what you did do instead of focusing on what you didn't do that you had set out to accomplish, which is what most people do when they're looking at their to-do list, and it sends them into a tailspin. All right, so Peggy, you're up first. So top 3 wins from last quarter.
I know the most recent one. Gosh. I think getting through some of my phobias about calling people and telling them about my business.
Awesome. What else?
Is inner, but not outer.
It's good. That's a huge thing.
Yes.
If you don't tell people about your business, you can't have clients. So getting over that, that's huge.
That's true. I think another win for me is seeing a shift in one of my clients, a huge shift. And that's a big win. And the other one, of course, is getting the opportunity to speak at Salt Oasis and having them sponsor me to speak at Salt Oasis. So
super cool. So it's so funny to listen to you talk about it like your voice doesn't sound excited at all. But the reality of it is all those wins are huge, and it can be huge momentum if you start to look at them that way. I mean, you're using someone else's venue to speak where they normally charge people to use their rooms, and they're sponsoring you. They're going to promote it for you, right? You've got a client that's getting amazing results, and you're getting over your own fear of talking about your business, and that's only going to grow and get stronger. So I'm celebrating you, even if you're still not sure if those are big enough wins to celebrate. So I'm going to celebrate you. Woohoo! Yes!
No, I'm excited. I just was trying to think of everything.
Awesome. All right, who's next?
Okay, so I'll go. I got my website up, so that was huge. I have been calling consistently to try to book speaking engagements and following up with the women that I met in North Carolina, as well as women from e-women events. So, which is big because that's usually where I drop the ball.
Cool.
So,
Yay. Awesome. Your speaking engagements are just going to start falling because you're calling consistently. So, yeah. The first step is like the fear of doing it in the first place. Like, what if I don't have everything I need? What if they, you know?
and what am I going to talk about? And it's like,
Yeah.
what have you been talking about? Like, seriously.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I think that clarity came from actually going through and writing the content for the website. It just gave me that level of clarity of this is what it is. This is what I do. So it helped.
Cool. All right, who's next? Elaine, you want to go?
Okay. I had my first client, and she's thrilled with me. So that was a big win. I have made progress on getting my landing page in place, getting my email campaigns completed, and I've had a shift in my brain about the value and the importance of posting on social media because I hate it. HATE, hate it. So, but I'm all over now. I'm all over my plan to do a few things, create memes, create videos to put out there, etc. I'm excited about connections that I have coming up that I have no idea where they could take me, but I'm expecting them to take me big places. I'm excited about, I think a win has been clarity. I've gone back and forth a lot about what I'm trying to accomplish. I'm sorry, no, not what I'm trying to accomplish, but who my ideal client is. And while I don't think I have it nailed down 100%, I think I've made a lot of progress toward that, and it's not who I thought. And so there have been a number of wins. So there you go.
Awesome. Woohoo! You guys are so funny. And like, you got to anchor the feeling like, shoot, I'm doing something. I'm doing good. Otherwise, you just get stuck in this thought like, okay, here's some stuff that I can throw out here. Just telling you guys, I used to go to a really big church, and one of the things that they do is when it's time to do giving and offering, you know, because the Bible says God loves a cheerful giver, they all like cheer and celebrate. And it really does shift your perception to, it's like, oh, I get to give. And it's a totally different feeling than, here comes that bucket. Should I put something in? Should I just drop in a button so it looks like I put something in, right? Or I got to part with my 10% of my cash, or whatever you're thinking, it shifts it. So along with your celebrations, and I'm totally celebrating everybody. I'm celebrating you all. Along with your celebrations, make sure that your body language and your face celebrates with you. Okay?
Let me go back then. My client loves me. She loves me. She thinks I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I felt so good the day I met with her. And I was able to solve problems for her, give her ideas, and create a system for her. She was thrilled, and I felt like this is the way I want to live. These are the kind of days I want to have. Solve my clients' issues, then go off and do whatever I want to do. Shop, whatever. Yay!
Did you feel the difference, though? And we are all smiling.
Yeah.
We can't help it.
Yeah, I definitely feel.
Who's next? Well, there's only one person left. Do you want to unmute? I don't know if you're muted or not. I can't tell. Okay, you're unmuted. I can hear you.
Shamika?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, my focus hasn't really been on my business, but I do have to say that I'm super happy with the amount of clients that I have. I just wish that they were at a higher price point because I've really gotten a taste of how nice it is to have, you know, like the smaller amount of clients. And I don't really have to work as often as I was, which is super nice. And I also got rid of another client that was just a big headache. So I always celebrate that as a win because it opens me up for, you know, other opportunities, as I said before. So I'm just really looking forward into, you know, into NLA and revamping my business, because even though feels like I just revamped it, it needs to be revamped again because it's really changed. So I'm excited for that.
Awesome. Are you having contractions?
A little bit. Nothing like exciting yet, but
Nothing exciting yet.
I keep waiting for them to be bigger, but they're not. But they're there. They're just not as big as I want them to be.
Well, thanks.
Or as painful as I want them to be.
They're not as painful as you want them to be. I want to see what you're going to say in a little while.
Yeah.
They're not as painful as I want them to be. What am I talking about? That's so funny. Well, I'm excited you're on here with us. I literally didn't expect you to jump on, so welcome.
Yeah, thank you. No, I looked at my calendar. I was like, oh, okay. But I have to pick up my daughter from school at 2:00 every day, or 2:10. So that's why I'm on the phone.
Cool.
But at least I'm here.
All right, guys. So here's the next thing I want you to look at, and then we're going to jump into hot seats. So if you're just joining and you missed my announcement earlier, we're going to take a break, like a 15-minute break, and then jump back on at 2:55. Okay. I will leave the line up so you can stay here. You don't have to log out. All right. So the next thing I want you to write down is, what were your top 3 challenges? So write that down. We're not going to talk about it, I know you guys will have way more to say when you talk about your challenges than you did when you talk about your successes. So write down your top 3 challenges that you had in the past quarter. And even if we're like looking for momentum, you can look at the year, like what are your top 3 challenges that you faced? And again, guys, I'm really just trying to get you to refocus, and what can we look at to kind of tweak your momentum going into 2017? You guys got your challenges, or are you still writing? Still writing. Okay. Anybody still writing? Hey, are you still writing or just looking down?
I got one more thing to write.
Okay. So the next thing, guys, is, and I really want you to think about this, what's your biggest takeaway from 2016? I know it's not over yet, but really, like, momentum wise, it is. I mean, you can still finish strong in the last 60 days, which I'm actually planning on doing some crazy stuff, but you really can finish strong in the last 60 days. But I want you to think about, what's your biggest lesson? Why am I echoing? Okay. No, not okay. Can I get everybody to mute yourself? All right, let me mute. I'll just do it. Oh, that's so irritating. Okay, that helped. That worked. All right, so what's your biggest takeaway? biggest takeaway when you think of everything that's happened over the past few months, past 10 months, 9 months, 10 months, what's your biggest takeaway? What's your biggest takeaway? I mean, it could be anything. Like last year or 2 years ago, my biggest takeaway was that was the aha moment that shifted everything for me, which was I'm like powerful in person and live, and I can create a business model that supports that structure, which in turn will give my clients the highest value and best use of me, and better results. So what's your biggest takeaway? Just one thing. Don't do a big run-on sentence with 8 things in it. And this and this and this and this and this. Anybody still writing? Okay. Now I want you to think of what are the things that have been blocking your success. So in order for your 2017 to look different from your 2016, what do you need to stop doing? What needs to go bye-bye in order for you to be successful? Heck, even in the next 60 days. Because right now, the next 60 days are creating the momentum for 2017. Like this really is your 2017 kickoff. What do you need to stop doing? Write it down so you can review it for yourself. And I highly suggest that you all do that. Sometime today, tonight, or this week, sit down with this list and look at it again so that you anchor it. So what do I need to stop doing in order to be successful? I'm thinking we might do this like once a quarter, or at least maybe even every 90 days. I like 90-day sprints. I couldn't read your lips, Elaine. You're still muted. Oh, I did? I don't remember doing that.
Oh, okay. I just said that 90 days and a quarter is the same thing. That's all.
Is it? Why am I thinking of, I'm thinking of a quarter like 4 months. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody done? Anybody still writing? No. Okay. So this is a big question, right? So what do we just do? Stop or start? Stop? Okay. So now what do you need to start doing? And you probably don't want to give yourself a whole list of things that are going to overwhelm you with, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be doing this and I'm supposed to be doing that. Be really strategic when you think about this. What do I need to start doing? Like I was just going through this with my coach Friday, or was that Thursday? And he was like, you need to start doing your mastery intensives oh shoot, I forgot to upgrade my thing. Shoot. Every 90 days. Let me go grab my credit card, guys, real quick. I never updated it from when my card was stolen. Give me a second. Sorry about that, guys. So the thing that we decided that I needed to start doing is doing mastery instead of doing it twice a year, doing it every quarter, once a quarter, every 90 days. So what do you need to start doing? Filling information. And let me just check. Is anybody still writing? Because we can move on to the next one. You're still writing on what you need to start? We can do the next question and then I'll put in my information. Okay, so I want you to really take a deep breath when I ask this next question and think about what you can do. Because for me, the answer to this question with what I needed to start doing and how can I increase my income goals was almost the same thing, right? So the next question is that, how can you increase your income goals? How can I increase my income goals? Ask yourself the question and listen to yourself answer. How can I increase my income goals? You know, some of you guys, it might be raising your rates. You know, it may not be that simple of a shift. You might need to tweak your business model. How can you increase your income goals? All right, give me a second. Let me put this in. Edit. 581, 585, 49. Just realized I was saying my credit card number out loud. 7. Almost done, guys. If I had done it when we did the intensive last week, I wouldn't have this problem. Okay, we should be good. We won't get cut off now. All right, and the next one. Is this helpful for you guys? Okay. I don't want to just be doing stuff because I think it's cool. You know, I want to make sure there's benefit to you.
No, it's what I've already started doing because that's what I'm doing next week or in 2 weeks.
Cool. So this will be right in alignment with that. Okay, so here's your next area that you want to look at, and the final area we're going to look at before we move on, and that's this. What are the things that you need to be repetitive about and keep doing in order for you to be successful? So this is where you look at, where am I killing it at? Where am I smashing it at? What are the things that I'm doing well, that I need to make sure I do not back off? Because what will happen is a lot of times we'll start to refocus and start to add the things that we think we should be doing and the things to increase our income. And then some of the things that we're really solid at will start to slip away. So this is kind of becoming a setup for how you should be focusing your energy and your activity. Okay, I'm pretty sure I just upgraded my thing. Okay, so the next question I want you to ask is, what do I need to continue doing in order to be successful? And then write that down. What do I need to continue doing? Anybody still writing? Looks like it's still not upgrading. Okay, the next thing is, what services, programs, courses, products do I need to launch in the next 60 days and then within the next quarter? I won't even say the next quarter. Let's say the next 90 days. So you have what you have. What do you need to add to that? I keep clicking this upgrade. It's not working. Okay, there we go. We're fine. Everybody done writing? Okay. Okay, here's a really good one to look at. What partnerships, what collaborations will help you accomplish your goals? This is something that I struggle with a lot. I'm such a lone ranger. I can figure it out, I can do it. And I know that together we go further faster. And I just don't reach out, or when people reach out, I don't continue the relationship or continue following up on it. Like, so many people have reached out to me this year to partner, and we just dropped the ball. And so what collaborations or partnerships for you can change the game? You know, who can let you speak on their stage? Who can you do a course or a class with, where you can partner together to bring value to the marketplace, to your own communities? Who can you swap stages with? I'm going to do a stage swap next year. What that means is they get on my stage, I get on theirs. That's all. Instead of, because sometimes you have to pay to speak on stages. So stage swap is a great way to go. But who do you need to partner with or collaborate with? You know, in your programs, like we have the master power players. Who are people like that you need to reach out to so that they can be bonuses in your course? Help you drive some more value home and teach things that maybe you know about, but it's not your zone of genius or your area of focus. They can do that for you. And now we're going to look at visibility. So how can you get more visible in the next 60 to 90 days leading into 2017? What can you, what tools, resources can you use? Can you do video? What social media platforms do you want to be the most visible on? And what will that look like? I've been playing around with Instagram. I actually love it. Facebook is my #1 platform, but Instagram's kind of crazy, the exposure you get. Because of the way that it works. And so that's the commitment of mine, is to be consistent on there, or to hire somebody to be consistent on there for me. Jenna's like, pick me. So what's your visibility plan? Is that more speaking engagements? And I would suggest that you pick 2 to 3 consistent ways that you're going to show up powerfully and consistently. Get out of your head about what people are going to think about you. And I'm telling you this because these are the same thoughts that I have. People are going to think I'm bragging. People are going to think I'm only trying to sell them stuff. I'm a sales coach and I still think that. I know that that's not the case, but I'm sharing with you that the thoughts still come up. You know, there's people in my world who are part of my world because they're not part of my business world. So sometimes the conversation I have with myself is, am I talking too much about my business? Well, heck, this is what I came here to do. If they don't like it, they can go bye-bye. There's a purpose behind what I do. So this is what I have to reinforce to myself. You guys got that down? All right, I'm going to open up and give you guys an opportunity to share what that was like for you. And then we're going to jump into hot seats. Actually, we should probably just take that break and then come back and do hot seats. It just worked out perfectly. All right, so I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to share what that was like for you, any ahas that came up for you as you were doing it, something you didn't think about, something you had been thinking about, but it, maybe it gave you a concrete way to look at it. And anybody can go, so just unmute yourself and talk away.
So my big thing was I don't know who to partner or collaborate with, right? And because I've been doing more networking recently and running into more people that are doing the money mindset stuff, who ironically say they have no money. So it's really, yeah, I'm just like, yeah.
That's what happens when you have a business like yours and mine, where we get to see the backside of what's really going on in people's businesses.
Right. And so, because I look at the work that I do. So like if I was just going to, talk about the CFO work in its various forms at different levels, I think I should be, partnering with somebody who, like yourself, right? Like you do sales, training, like people need that. Like clearly I need it. So I know my clients need it. And then someone who does, branding, like what does that look like? I mean, those pieces, but I always just think, how do I position that so that they understand? It's like people come to me, they want to figure stuff out, but they don't even know like who they are or who they serve, right? But they want money around that.
When you say, how do I position that? What do you mean? How do you position yourself to approach someone in that manner, or?
Yeah, like, so, yes. I mean, it's just sort of, because, when I was running my accounting services firm, it was so easy, right? Banker, insurance agent, attorney, right? Like all the standards, because I did bookkeeping and taxes, right? Now it's sort of like we only do bookkeeping and taxes for our CFO clients if they don't have a provider for that already. So I'm not bogging myself down with, that work. So I know that the work that I'm doing is like, if somebody needs a CMO or somebody who has marketing experience, who has sales experience, that at least that was the big aha. It's like, well, I need to start positioning myself a little bit differently. Because if I'm going to look at speaking on stages, then how do I make it a win for them? Especially since I'm just like, I'm really just starting out. Like I have to treat, and that was my other big aha going through all this, is that I have to just be honest with myself that in this aspect, I am really starting over. Which is different than just going, well, I've done the, business thing for 13 years, blah, blah. No, this is all brand new. So I really have to, it's like clean slate just in that aspect.
So the first thing that I want to share with you is that you need to make a hot list. I have a hot list. And the other day, somebody on my hot list said, we need to partner. And I was like, haha, that's funny. You're on my hot list. You're on my list of people I want to partner with.
Okay.
And so that'll be happening.
Okay.
So again, intention, right? You get what you focus on. So as people come across your radar and you start to have conversations with them, hi, Jenna. Start to have conversations with them and you realize, oh my gosh, I really love this person, or they'd be great if I ever do a telesummit or whatever the case may be. Write their name down and then pursue it when it's time. And when you pursue, you got to make sure it's a win-win.
Right.
What do they get out of it? So it could be that you're swapping referrals. It could be that you can mail for them. It could just be exposure because they're part of your program, right?
Yeah.
It could be a lot of things. It could people that are in your mastermind, if you're masterminding or working with people, a lot of times they'll just do it because it's you, right? So I got Kristen to do it. She's like, whatever you need, just take it, right? So that's, that was the win-win, was that I supported her, and then she just was like, whatever, just let Marta know what you need. So it's the same situation. Just be really clear about what you want. Because some people will feel like at times if you go approach somebody, like let's say they're a big name person, they'll feel like, oh, you're just trying to get access to my list. So there needs to be some sort of relationship and some sort of win-win there.
Yeah, if it's a big person, it would probably be an introduction like I would do, like a client referral or something. It wouldn't be, it'd be something different completely.
Yeah. So that's all I would say is start a list. Start there. So as things come up and you're like, oh, I really need a person for this because this keeps coming up. That way, you're letting your reticular activation system know, partner radar. When you're networking, they'll start to show up.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Like in 2017, I really want to do a big like sales, like telesummit kind of thing. And I'm bringing in a bunch of people who do what I do, but we all do it differently. And some of them are killing it. You know, there's one guy who does sales stuff, and he's like selling $150,000 programs. That's all he sells. He doesn't sell anything else. So like, how do you get to that space? What do you have to go through to do that? And he's willing to do it. So, you know, I can't speak to you guys from that mindset because I don't sell $150,000 programs. The programs that I sold that were that high, they were part of a totally different arena. So, but he can tell you what that looks like, what it feels like, who you have to become in order to do that, and what that was like for him. Right? So that's a type of partnership. All right. Who else? Any ahas, takeaways from anybody else?
Well, for me, it was more of a just putting it all together of what I'm doing already, what I'm thinking through already. Again, it's getting clarification of what I need to do, finishing up some things that I've started, and just getting into action and reaching out and making those connections. Because I do have some potential partnerships. When you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, those are the people that I've been talking to. And I mean, you know, anticipating either already or about to, something like that. So it just sort of put it all back in place that I am focused on the right things. I just need to get into action more. So that's what that did for me.
Cool. So, you know, Elaine, you might want to make a big post-it thing for your daughter to read when she comes in again that says, take action. Take action. Take action. Sometimes those little reminders is all we have, because like, again, we get trying to stick a round peg into a square hole, and we're stuck and we're frustrated, and it's like, oh wait, what can I get moving on today? And you realize, oh, I can actually do this instead of trying to stick this into the peg. You know, I could shave it off a little bit, make it fit. Cool. Peggy, did you have something you wanted to share, or Jenna? She's like, I already got it. Go ahead, Peggy. You can unmute if you want to share. So I need to unmute you.
I got it.
What question are we on? Oh, sorry.
Jenna? Oh yeah, that's you.
Go ahead,
Turn
Peggy.
your computer down.
Turn mine down.
I think it's your volume that has me echoing. Jenna, I was asking for any aha moments from what you've just done. That's all. You're like your takeaway. All right, Peggy, I'm gonna let you talk.
I lost everything. I can't even find the screen now.
I promise you you're still here.
I don't even know what I did. Okay, I'll just tell you, and then I'll find my screen. My biggest takeaway was twice I've been out with my husband and had the opportunity to speak to people, and I talk about my business, and they tell me what a great idea it is and how much they need it. And I miss getting the information I need, like their phone number and what I need to do to follow through with them. Twice I've done that. Twice when we've gotten out to the car, he goes, you know what you did? You did it again. You didn't take advantage of the opportunity. He says, when somebody gives you that clear of a message, you need to be ready to follow through on it and take them up on it and get their information.
Yeah.
And I guess I just need to shift my thinking when I'm talking to people about what I need to do to make them a potential client.
Well, in that conversation, the end of the conversation is, hey, can we exchange information so I can follow up with you, so we can continue the conversation? I wouldn't say follow up because that's salesy. but can we exchange information so I can continue the conversation?
That's what I need to do. And I need to get that into my head and remember to do that, because I'll walk out feeling really good. Oh, I got to talk about my business, la, la, la. And then my husband will go, you blew the opportunity. And I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah. I can't give you a Post-it note for that, but take your husband everywhere you go. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, I know. I know. He's such a good salesman.
So this might be something, Peggy, you can do though. And that is just every person who talks about your business, whether they outright say I'm interested, end every conversation with, can we exchange information so we can continue the conversation?
Yes, that's what I need to do. That's what I need to do.
Cool. Awesome. Jenna, did you have a takeaway you want to share?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can see you. Hi, Jenna.
Me and my baby bump. Should I go?
Oh my God.
Yeah. I need to stop, quote unquote, being desperate and compromising with people. I just need to stick with my plan, and I really need to stick with my, my 6 month in advance plan for people that are signing up for a year with me, because when I have people cancel, that month-to-month contract, it really screws me up. So I need to take authority in my business and really stick to that authoritative position and stop compromising and seeming like, and being desperate, I guess, because those are the clients that I do not want, and I am so sick of dealing with them. So
cool. That's huge.
Yeah. And I've realized that, that's what I've really it's come into perspective, especially with, my client list when I first started with you and my client list now, just my numbers. Oh man, what a difference. So yeah, I've lost a lot of money, but it's okay because I've learned a lot more, and I'm going to be able to change my business for the better in 2017. So.
Cool. I think, with your new program that we were kind of outlined in the Mastery Intensive, that'll recoup some of those people.
Yeah. Because
they're probably more do-it-yourself kind of people anyway. And if you give them the strategy to do that, they can take care of it, no problem.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome. So here's what's exciting about that. That's something that's always easier said than done. When you can anchor it and begin to take action towards that direction, you draw towards yourself more of what you want.
Exactly.
And I just remember a time and place where I thought, okay, no one's ever going to be able to pay me more than like $395 a month. You know what I mean? That was just the thing. And, when you begin to attract clients who pay, in full, even for like 5-figure investments, you're like, what the heck was I thinking back then? Because those clients were a struggle, and so a lot of that just becomes you turning that switch off. And you naturally, when your body begins to change your authority positioning in your inside, like who you're being, you start to repel those people, and that's really what happens.
Yeah.
So it might seem scary to have clients drop off. But most of the time it ends up being people who you probably knew you shouldn't have hired in the first place. Or they were headaches, they stressed you the heck out.
Mm-hmm.
You still need the revenue to come in. The reality of it is you've now made room. And so with intentionality, you can create the business that you truly want to create.
Exactly. Yeah, and I need to surround myself with other people, and and so I know what group I need to start with, and maybe a group that I need to get rid of. So, yeah.
Cool. All right, so we're gonna take a break for 15 minutes. I'm gonna go grab my man-child, and then I'll be back. So let's just do 3:15. Is that okay with everybody? We'll do 3:15. I'm gonna leave it up. I'm just gonna stop the recording.